I've been attacked so many times. Death threats, I've been sexualized.
Meanwhile,
Big mama. Big mama. That big mama.
She would take pictures of herself in a bikini and upload them to her lonely male followers on social media. Then, Angel Reese would turn around and complain about being over-sexualized. Lonely men keep telling me to take more clothes off. It's so unfair! This week, Angel Reese, I guess, decided to take a step further.
Angel Reese has been vocal about the media over-sexualizing her. But right after theFever handed the Sky a 27-point blowout at the United Center, she wasted no time posting thirst traps online. This is the same player who regularly complains about off-court attention. Yet when it's time to deliver on the hardwood, even the simplest layups seem to go missing. The irony? Painfully obvious. The basketball gods didn't miss. A packed house watched it all unfold. If you're already bracing for her next blooper, drop a "fire the baby giraffe" in the comments below. Let's go.
Nobody, like you got no time. You literally got a bra on and booty shorts on with your booty cheek hanging out the bottom of it. Like, why?
I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. And I just try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down and like not be there for them. So
This, the legendary United Center, home of the Chicago Bulls, packed with over 19,000 roaring fans for the first ever WNBA game in that iconic arena. History in the making. But what made it unforgettable? The Indiana Fever rolled into Chicago without Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, or even head coach Stephanie White. No stars, no problem. Just a squad of hungry, overlooked players who came to make a statement. And they did. They dismantled the Sky and left Angel Reese embarrassed on her own court. A masterclass in dominance without the usual headliners.
We have yet to see a single example of Angel Reese being a leader. Outside of rebounding her own missed layups, what does Angel Reese do? What is her contribution? You tell me, because I'm not seeing it. I know I'm harsh on Angel Reese, but she considers herself a star. If you're going to call yourself a star, I expect you to perform like a star, especially in big moments. Caitlin Clark was injured. Angel Reese was the only star on the court last night. And for 27 minutes, she completely disappeared.
Let's keep it real. That night didn't go the way anyone expected. With the Fever missing key pieces, the Sky were supposed to capitalize. Instead, Kelsey Mitchell had other plans. She dropped 17 points on 5 of 11 shooting and took control when it mattered most. These weren't just buckets, they were statement shots that silenced a packed United Center. You could feel the energy shift as the crowd slowly realized Chicago wasn't just losing, they were getting picked apart by Indiana's role players. Cold, calculated.
Oh, there's a lot of reaction coming in from last night's drubbing, destruction, annihilation, cremation, whatever you want to call it, roasting, sauteed, whatever your form of cooking may be. But the Indiana Fever absolutely dismantled the Chicago Sky.
Lexi Hull came in locked and loaded, knocking down threes with a rhythm that coaches dream about. She even crossed the 500-point milestone in the second quarter, another highlight in what's quickly becoming a breakout season. Hull's shooting was exactly what Indiana needed to stretch Chicago's defense and open up clean looks for her teammates. Meanwhile, Aaliyah Boston owned the paint. On both ends, she made Angel Reese look completely out of place. One sequence said it all. 8 seconds on the shot clock, Boston pivots through contact, finishes strong, and draws the foul. And then one that cleared out the lane and crushed any remaining momentum for the Sky. And speaking of Reese, it was rough. She finished with just 4 points on 2 of 7 shooting. That's a brutal 28.6% from the field. And these weren't tough, contested looks. We're talking about point-blank layups that high school players hit routinely. She ended the game a 20 in the plus-minus column, meaning Chicago was outscored by 20 points with her on the floor. Her teammates could only watch as the shots clanked and the Fever ran away with it. Putting the ball in the basket. The timing of what happened next is absolutely mind-blowing. Angel Reese went on record talking about how she's been attacked so many times, death threats, I've been sexualized, and how unfair the whole situation is for her. She painted herself as this victim who just wants to be respected for her basketball skills and not judged for anything else. You could hear the frustration in her voice as she explained how she tries to ignore, and I just try to stand strong through all the criticism and scrutiny that comes her way. Big mama, that big mama for real big. It's so proportioned though. Like I know that's what I'm saying. She talking about $200, it don't even look like it. That's 'cause I'm tall. Music. But here's where the story takes a wild turn. Less than a week after giving that emotional interview about being unfairly sexualized, Angel Reese posted a video of herself twerking with rapper Sexy Y Red that had absolutely nothing to do with basketball. The internet went absolutely crazy. Pointing out the obvious contradiction, fans were screenshotting her complaints and putting them right next to the provocative content she was posting. And the hypocrisy was impossible to ignore where I come from. This is tacky, there's nothing cute about this. I mean, yeah, what does that gotta do with basketball? I mean, honestly, but don't you criticize her, don't you do it. RHS. I mean, that's supposed to be boy, that's great for a supposed role model. To young women, it's disgusting. It is. The video wasn't just a quick story that disappeared either. This was a full production that she clearly planned and posted for maximum attention. People were calling it tacky and embarrassing in the comments, and you could see the confusion from fans who genuinely didn't understand what they were supposed to believe. Was she a victim of unfair treatment? Or was she actively participating in the exact behavior she was complaining about? Kathy Engelberg, no space for hate. But you got your players putting this kind of stuff out and you expect people to not be critical of it. That's what you expect. It's not going to happen. Your players in your league are going to get criticized. I've said, I think she'll be out of basketball in 2 to 3 years because she wants to be a podcaster, wants to be a social media influencer, doesn't really want to be a basketball player. If she does, she might play an unrivaled, but not the WNBA. Her game seems to be more suited for that league. This pattern keeps repeating itself with Angel Reese. She'll post provocative content, risque outfits, overly sexualized visuals, and clips that have zero connection to basketball, then act surprised when people respond to exactly what she's putting out there. It's like she's crafting an image, then getting upset when people actually notice the image she created. The fan reactions were brutal, with people calling out the obvious disconnect between her words and her actions in real time. Caitlyn would never embarrass herself like that. No, she wouldn't. I mean, she just wouldn't. I mean, what are we doing? Let's be real about how other players handle their social media presence. Look at Lexi Hull and Aaliyah Boston from theFever. Their posts focus on basketball highlights, team celebrations, and supporting their teammates when they share personal content. It's genuine moments that don't contradict everything they've said about wanting to be respected as athletes. theFever's social media presence is primarily focused on celebrating their wins and building team chemistry, not generating controversy for attention. Clark, she's been heavily scrutinized over the last, 2 or 3 years. I can't think of one time that Caitlin Clark embarrassed herself, or the league seen Caitlin Clark on social media twerking with Machine Gun Kelly. I have never seen Steph Curry publicly embarrass himself or the NBA. The contrast is striking when you compare Reese's approach to players like Caitlin Clark, who keeps the focus on her basketball skills and lets her performance do the talking. Clark has built a massive following by being consistent with her message and her actions. She doesn't complain about attention while simultaneously seeking that same attention through provocative posts that have nothing to do with her sport. Angel Reese wants to shake her ass and seek validation from lonely men. Fine. But I think what Angel Reese really wants, and this is just me speculating, I don't know her, but I think what Angel Reese really wants is to be respected. Kind of hard to earn respect when you're exploiting yourself on social media, even though most people don't consider Angel Reese to be the face of the league. She does. If you're the face of the league, that comes with certain expectations, responsibility. You know what the real problem is here when you're spending time planning thirst trap content and managing social media? Drama? You're not spending time in the gym working on your shooting form. The numbers from both games against the Fever tell the whole story. While Angel Reese was focused on everything except basketball, the Fever players were developing the skills and chemistry that win games. This affects her credibility as a professional athlete and raises questions about what her actual priorities are when you publicly complain about being sexualized. Then immediately post content that sexualizes yourself. Fans start to wonder if you're serious about basketball or just looking for attention. The basketball gods seemed to notice this contradiction too, and they delivered the perfect response through back-to-back blowout losses that exposed exactly where her focus really was. What an outfit Angel Reese was rocking. She put a lot of time, a lot of effort into making sure her ensemble was on point. Are my boots matching my jacket? Are my gloves matching my hat? Angel Reese put in tons of time for this outfit, which begs the question, does Angel Reese put in more time in her outfits for the pre-game catwalk? Or does she put in more time to actually get better at the game of basketball? Now here's the truth that Angel Reese doesn't want to face while she's busy playing victim and posting thirst traps after getting destroyed on the basketball court. The Indiana Fever are building something special. They've got depth, they've got chemistry, and they've got players who understand that basketball comes first. Fans are already excited about what 2025 will bring when Caitlin Clark returns healthy, and this team gets even stronger. Support teams that focus on winning games instead of manufacturing drama. The Fever have shown they can beat you with their stars or without them. And that's championship culture right there. If you can't wait for Reese's next blooper, then comment. Fire the baby giraffe down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen and we will see you in the next. Natasha Howard chipped in 13 solid points, but the real surprise? Ari McDonald, who literally just signed a hardship contract, came in and dropped 12 points along with 4 steals. She looked more comfortable in her Fever debut than Angel Reese did in her own building. That's the kind of depth, focus, and preparation that separates championship-caliber teams from squads more focused on going viral than getting buckets. Sure, both teams were dealing with adversity, missing key players, playing through injuries, but Indiana's role players rose to the occasion. McDonald nailed a huge 3 in the corner. Moments later, she drained another on the opposite wing. You could feel the game slipping away, and so did the crowd. By the time the fourth quarter rolled around, fans were already heading for the exits. Think about that. Over 19,000 people packed into the biggest arena in Chicago, and most couldn't even stay to watch the end. Meanwhile, during warm-ups, fans weren't even focused on the home team. They were lining up asking Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Sophie Cunningham for autographs. That tells you everything you need to know about where the real star power was sitting. This wasn't just a loss, it was a total collapse. The Fever's bench players outworked, outshot, and outplayed Chicago's supposed stars without breaking a sweat. And when the final buzzer sounded on that 27-point beatdown, it sent a clear message. One franchise is building a contender, and the other is chasing likes. But here's the wildest part. This wasn't even the Sky's worst performance against Indiana this season. Chicago scored just 52 points, their lowest total since 2011. There were people in that arena who weren't even born the last time the Sky put up numbers this bad. Some weren't even thoughts in their parents' minds the last time Chicago's offense looked lost. As for Angel Reese, it wasn't just a bad night out, it was a reality check. And the scoreboard didn't lie. Beat down at the United Center, Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky should have been celebrating because they actually improved from their first meeting with the Fever this season. Back on May 17th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, the Sky got absolutely demolished by 35 points in a 93-58 massacre that made the recent loss look like a competitive game. Angel Reese gets up. Aaliyah Boston shoves it, gives it a little stiffy. Hey, don't come at Caitlin, but look at her. Angel Reese upset. Oh my gosh. Hey man, this was hilarious. Look, Angel Reese was pissed. Look at her. She was still going after a little bit. Look, took the jersey out. What? What's going on? Let's take you back to that May afternoon when Angel Reese thought she could get physical with Caitlin Clark and intimidate the rookie into backing down. The tension was building throughout the game as Ree tried to establish her presence through hard fouls and aggressive play. She was talking, she was pushing, she was doing everything except making shots when her team needed them most. You could see her trying to get inside Clark's head with the kind of antics that work in college but fall flat against professional players who've seen it all before. I thought Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were cool, but I don't know, man. The way Angel got up, she was like, look at that. Look at her. I mean, she was getting after it. Fam, oh my goodness. Now the funny thing is, was Caitlin Clark sniffing, walking away? Hold on, let me see if I can get a good angle. Oh yeah, look, watch. Caitlin Clark face right here, watch. This laughter. This is where it gets interesting. While Ree was busy playing enforcer and apparently hearing crowd noises that may or may not have existed, she completely forgot about the part where you're supposed to actually play basketball. Her shooting performance that night was a painful 2 of 7 from the field for just 12 points. She grabbed 17 rebounds, which sounds impressive, until you realize most of those came from her own missed shots and her teammates' struggles to convert. Easy opportunities, the Fever responded to Reese's physical play by doing what championship teams do. They let their basketball do the talking every time Ree tried to make the game about drama and intimidation. Indiana answered with crisp ball movement, efficient shooting, and the kind of professional composure that separates contenders from pretenders. The Fever didn't get drawn into Reese's theatrics. They just kept scoring and kept pulling away until the game became unwatchable for Sky fans. Here's what should have been a massive wake-up call for Chicago when you lose by 35 points. That's not just a bad shooting night or unlucky bounces. That's a fundamental breakdown of everything you're supposed to do as a basketball team. The Sky offensive execution was non-existent. Their defensive rotations looked confused, and their star player was more focused on starting conflicts than creating offense for her teammates. You would think getting embarrassed by 35 points in front of a national audience would force Angel Ree to go back to the gym and work on her fundamentals. You would think she'd spend the summer improving her shooting form, studying film, and figuring out how to contribute to winning basketball instead of manufactured drama. You would think a professional athlete would take that kind of humiliation as motivation to prove the doubters wrong. But did Ree learn anything from that May beatdown? The evidence suggests she spent more time planning her next social media post than perfecting her layup technique. The Sky went from losing by 35 points to losing by 27 points, which technically counts as improvement, but still represents a complete inability to compete with a Fever team that wasn't even at full strength. The numbers don't lie about this pattern. 2 games against Indiana, 2 blowout losses, and the same player at the center of both disasters, while the Fever were building chemistry and developing the kind of depth that wins championships. Angel Ree was apparently focused on activities that had nothing to do with